Hey, and what is going on, everybody? It is Zero here, back with some more Diablo action. Today we're going to take a look at the Zunimassa's set dungeon mastery. So first off, let me just say that the Zunimassa's set dungeon, coffee, is way easier than the Helltooth set dungeon. Like, it's a breeze. I finished it on my second attempt. The first attempt it went really poorly because I went in just like straight up Zunies with Grasp of the Dead on there. So like basically it was just Dagger of Darts with Grasp of the Dead added on. And you find out pretty quick that regular old Grasp of the Dead isn't going to cut it. So let's get into it. We're using Poison Dart, obviously. You don't really need to use this very often until very close to the end of this run, okay? You're not going to be using this. You can pretty much do it without it, to be honest with you. Grasp of the Dead, Rain of Corpses is a very good choice here. Drops down the corpses from the skies, deals good damage. So since you have to pretty much grasp, like, I think it's like 80%, 75-80% of the enemies in the dungeon, you're going to be getting some decent damage out of your Grasp of the Dead. And we're going to be using this in conjunction with that new mojo. We'll have that in the cube. We'll go over that in a minute. And then basically what I decided to do, which is what I think some other people are doing. I saw a couple videos of people doing this setup as well. Fetish Army, Zombie Dogs, and Gargantuan. I use the Chill to the Bone dogs to slow enemies because you can't allow any enemies to get within melee range, so that will help you quite a bit. That'll slow them down, and they won't be able to, as well as Grasp of the Dead slowing them down, they won't be able to charge at you quite as quickly. And then I use the Garg with Relentless Giant because he often gets in situations where there's more than 5 enemies, and then there's the the elite packs and whatnot that are in there. Or the champion monsters, or whatever the hell they call them in these things. And then I use Spirit Walk, Honored Guest. Used Honored Guest for the mana return in Spirit Realm. You're going to be wanting to have some way of getting your mana back up quickly. I got a really itchy nose because you're going to be using a lot of Grasp of the Dead, and you want to counteract how much mana you're using. And then I use Midnight Feast to increase the damage of Zombie Dogs and the Garg. I use Spiritual Attunement to get more mana regen and more mana flat out. Fetish Sycophants for more fetishes. And Fierce Loyalty. It's pretty much a throwaway. You can use pretty much whatever you want here. It gives you an extra dog, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. You can pretty much use anything here. I mean, you're not going to want to use something like Confidence Ritual because you can't be up close to enemies. So yeah. Gear-wise, guys, obviously you're going to be needing the Zunimassa's set. I was using the Rorg and the Cube with mine. I used Focus and Restraint. So this is pretty much my standard Zuni's build with Dagger of Darts. Obviously, this is pretty much obsolete now with the new ring set out. Zuni's Dagger of Darts is pretty crap in comparison to no Zuni's Dagger of Darts. But for the sake of doing the set dungeon, we need it. I used Pauldron's. Pretty much you've seen this all before in Zunimassa's Dagger of Darts builds. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, the only thing you're going to change from your normal Zunimassa's set with Dagger of Darts is what's in the cube, guys. And in the cube, I have Wilkin's Reach. Grasp of the Dead no longer has a cooldown. So this is going to make it a lot easier for you. This was my main problem my first run through, was that you just couldn't cast it fast enough, and your fetishes or whatnot would kill the enemies. And if you were going with no pets, you'd have to do a lot of kiting around, in order to wait for it. So I ended up doing some gambling and some legendary crafting in the cube to get this, and threw that in there, and easy peasy. Mask of Jerem increased my pet damage, and I used the Ring of Royal Grandeur, give me the full Zunimassa 6-piece set. So guys, this is a really easy dungeon. Basically just, it's set up in that like kind of graveyard area, and there's a few areas. Just go around in a circle around them, grasping everything you see. If you're running low on mana, pop Spirit Walk, and you're gonna get your mana back up really, really fast. And if anything does dart at you, run away. You don't want to get within melee range, but you basically have to grasp of the dead every single enemy in the dungeon. Once you have the objective for grasping the enemies, then you can start shooting your darts and destroying everything in sight in a faster way. But otherwise, you have to take it slow, not rush in, because again, you can't get within melee range, and of course, you can't take fatal damage. You got to kill so many enemies without taking fatal damage. That's the easy. You don't even have to worry about that, right? As long as you're decently geared, it's not going to be an issue for you. Okay, another option, you can also use the bottomless potion of fear. Fears enemies within 12 yards of you. I'm wondering if 12 yards is actually melee range or not, but it's an option. If things are darting at you, you can run away and pop your potion if you're low on, have any health missing, and they'll run away from you, and that'll help keep the melee thing under control. But yeah, it really doesn't even need that much of an explanation. It's just like, take your normal Zuni's Dagger of Darts build, pop in that mojo, and throw on all the pets, and just grasp everything, and you'll get it done like that. Like I said, I did it on my second attempt. The first attempt went poorly because I wasn't using that mojo, and I had to wait on the cooldown for Grasp of the Dead. As long as you're not waiting on a cooldown for Grasp of the Dead, this is... I don't know about the other set dungeons in the game. I've just started doing them. This is only the second one I've done. But chances are this might be the easiest one in the game. I don't know, because it was like super, super easy and unchallenging, and it was kind of a letdown compared to the compared to the Helltooth, which actually took me quite a lot of runs to do. So there you have it, guys. Also, if you don't know where the Zunimassa set dungeon is, it is in we'll run over there it's in the core it's in the core of Eret, that first curve. It's not hard to find. It actually, like, the description says it pretty clearly. I placed a portal near the core. The heat was unbearable, blah, 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 blah. Very easy to find. Okay, guys. Hopefully you're having fun with the new season, guys. Hopefully you're having fun with all the new set dungeons. I know I'm enjoying it, It's kind of nice to ease back into Diablo after being away for a while, doing these set dungeons. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I'll get the Jades guy out pretty soon. I haven't even looked for that one yet, but I hate Jades. But I think it's better now with the new patch. I got to look into it a little bit, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.